in the heat of a crisis, when chaos reigns and adrenaline spikes. Most people are expected to freeze or panic, but every now and then someone defies all expectations. This is the story of a moment when everyone anticipated a meltdown. But what they got instead was a masterclass in precision and calm. Picture this: a bustling city street, a sudden, jarring screech of tires, and the horrifying crunch of metal on metal. A multi-car pileup, smoke billows, horns blare, and a crowd gathers, their faces a mixture of shock and helplessness. People are shouting, some are crying, others are just filming on their phones. Amid this pandemonium, a woman emerges from one of the less damaged cars. She's not a paramedic, not a police officer. She's a high school science teacher named Sarah. The crowd expects her to be just as dazed and confused as everyone else. They see a woman in her late 30s, her hands probably shaking, her eyes wide with fear. But that's not what happened. Sarah took one look at the scene, her expression shifting from shock to intense focus in a split second. She ignored the noise, the chaos, the onlookers. Her eyes scanned the wreckage with an analytical gaze, not as a victim, but as a problem solver. Her first move was to a car where a driver was slumped over the wheel, bleeding from a head wound. A man nearby was yelling, "Don't move him, wait for the ambulance." Sarah calmly replied, "His airway could be compromised. We need to stabilize him, not just wait." She instructed the man to support the driver's neck, showing him exactly how to hold it to prevent further injury. Her voice was firm, clear, and devoid of panic. It cut through the surrounding noise like a surgeon's scalpel. Next, she noticed leaking fluid from under one of the cars. It was gasoline. The air was thick with the smell, and a single spark could turn this accident into a catastrophe. While others were still processing the initial crash, Sarah was already 3 steps ahead. She started shouting, "Everyone back! Get away from the cars, there's a fuel leak." She didn't just scream, she directed it. She pointed, made eye contact, and used her teacher's voice, the one that commands a room of unruly teenagers, to create a safe perimeter. People who were frozen in place moments before were now moving, following her lead. One of the cars had a child in the back, crying hysterically. The mother was trying to unbuckle the car seat, her hands fumbling with the straps in a panic. Sarah approached calmly. "Let me help," she said softly. "Look at me. Breathe with me. In and out." She guided the mother through a few calming breaths before her nimble, steady fingers worked the buckle free in seconds. She didn't just rescue the child. She calmed the mother, empowering her in a moment of utter terror by the time the first responders arrived. Sarah had already triaged the most critical injuries, neutralized a major fire hazard, and established a semblance of order. The lead paramedic, a veteran of countless emergencies, looked at the scene, then at Sarah, who was now quietly explaining the situation to a police officer. He later told a reporter, "We arrived to a scene that was managed. Someone had already done the critical thinking for us." Usually, we walk into pure chaos. Today, we walked into a controlled environment. That woman, she was incredible. So what made Sarah different? It wasn't a lack of fear. She admitted later that she was terrified. The difference was what she did with that fear. Instead of letting it paralyze her, she channeled it into focus. Her years of teaching science had trained her to think logically under pressure, to break down complex problems into small, manageable steps. She didn't see a horrifying disaster. She saw a series of problems that needed solutions, assess the situation, identify the most immediate threats, and act decisively. This story isn't about being fearless. It's about what you do when you're afraid. It's as a powerful reminder that the calmest person in the room isn't always the one who is unscared. It's the one who has mastered their response to fear. They expected panic, but she delivered precision. And in doing so, she didn't just save lives. She showed everyone what true strength looks like in the face of chaos. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible true stories. See you in the next video.